drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll lock 'em. Op 'em. If he reach, then I'll pop 'em. Street sweeper, I'll wash 'em. Homicide, come and chalk 'em. Drop 'em. One hook and I'll rock 'em. One more and I'll stop 'em. Call the fighter, I'll lock 'em. Op 'em.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Terence Crawford announces that he's fighting David. I don't know, Adversarian. I don't know how to say his last name. I just know he's a UK level guy. He's fighting David on December 10th. The fight with Errol Spence didn't come through. Now, TC saying on Twitter he did all he can, and Errol just didn't want the fight as bad as he did. And Errol Spence is saying this dude's been stalling and he had this fight in his back pocket the entire time. This is all on Twitter. Mike Coppinger is reporting that Terence Crawford is going to make an 8-figure payday, his highest payday ever off of this fight, according to sources from Mike Coppinger. I know who his source is, TC himself. But anyways, according to sources, he's making the biggest payday of his career. So anyways, now we're not going to see this fight. Terence Crawford is fighting David, UK level fighter. And what's your reaction to it? I guess I'm gonna throw it to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What's your reaction to all this?
That's why I said I believe it when I see it. These guys, I don't know. I mentioned it the last time we spoke. They're gonna run it to where the people is gonna start not to care. And I don't know. It's looking bad all across the board. You know, did you not want this to fight? Because if this fight comes up so soon, it's like before, like you're just testing the waters, just to negotiating, seeing how we was supposed to be. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't care. You know what? I just don't like them playing the people. Like everybody knows the fight that needed to be made. People, if we matter, right? Like the fans in boxing really do matter. If we really wanted to fight and you don't want to pull up with, don't watch the crap. You got to demand it. You have to demand it. You got to demand it and say that you're not going to support the BS. If that's how strongly you feel about this thing, I don't know, man. I just knew for some odd reason that it wouldn't take place this year. If it does, it runs the risk of people not even caring anymore. You know, I've been on this show. I don't mean to ramble on. I'm disappointed. I'm just disappointed in so many ways. Just for the back and forth with people, you know, with this fight, you know, before the fight even be made, just there's so much back and forth. It's just aggravating that this is I'm not here to point fingers on who's to blame or not. I just think that it's not good for the sport, and you got to hold these fighters accountable. It's disappointing. It's disheartening that this have to happen. And as the commissioner, right, I advocated I wanted these fighters to be compensated. I talked about, we done talked about sport being dangerous. We don't win in on this. Me and Caden, we don't never disagree, but we done had disagreements about certain ways of how I felt about these fighters and stuff like that. And you know what? I'm a backstep. You know what? I was wrong. I feel like these guys, yeah, they do deserve to be compensated, but I was wrong. I feel like some of these guys is using this money thing as excuses. And I was all for it at first, but now I'm starting to see that this is hurting the sport. It really is. I get it. You want to be compensated and everybody want to do good business, But sometimes, what about I get it. Like your kids can't eat legacies, and I don't understand everybody. But what about the respect? And when you talk about these fighters, talk about being greats, and talk about they sold me into the fact that they wanted to be great and all this other stuff. Sometimes you have, if that's what you want to do, then you have to act like it. Both of these guys, I heard them talk about being great, being great. When this sport you talk about, you have to act like it. Sometimes it got to be some give. I don't know. I'm just disappointed. I'm rambling on. I just feel like this is just bad. It's bad for the people, and it's bad for the boxing community as a whole. I don't care who you was picking, TC or Errol. I just think that this is a bad look. You know, this is a bad look on both gentlemen and for the sport.
All right. Conspiracy G.
It's weird because I want to disagree with Trill, but like I agree and I disagree because I see what you're saying, but I always go, I'm fighter first, right? And the fighter should always maximize, like whatever they're gonna get paid, try to negotiate the biggest bag.
I feel that.
However, yeah, but this is the problem though.
This is the problem though.
You have two guys who are undefeated demanding big bags. And on top of that, these guys pretty much put the 147 division on hostage. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't really seen any big fights in the welterweight division, And I don't want to say this because I feel like it might get misunderstood, but I low-key blame Mayweather. You know what I mean? Because Mayweather had the perfect formula, right? To make this the money division for him, He was in the public eye. He was verbal. He had enemies. He had people who loved him. He was amazing with the defense. So it's like either you're going to pay to see him lose or you're going to pay to see him win, but you're going to pay to see him. Now we got two guys that are both talented, amazing athletes, but they're quiet. They're not on social media. If they are on social media, it's just like they're on Twitter just talking trash about one another. But they're not necessarily building a brand, They're not being visible to the masses. We had Bob Arum, we have Eddie Hearn, and I think Al is probably going through the same thing right now, realizing I can't make a profit from this fight. Either somebody takes a pay cut or something got to give, but it doesn't make financial sense for you guys to fight right now, right? And so when I'm seeing like TC's about to fight some random dude December 10th, it makes you wonder, like, and I understand you can negotiate two fights at the same time. I get that. But it's like, did you really want this fight? Like with Spence? So I don't know. That's why it's like real tricky for me. It's like, I don't know which side to lean on because it's like, obviously, it's just like, I wanted to see that Wilder and AJ fight when they were both undefeated, but it just didn't happen, But it's like with TC and Spence, I still believe that's going to happen one day. It may not be this year, obviously, but maybe next year, but it's going to happen. It's just one of these guys have to realize, or maybe both gentlemen just have to realize, all right, you know what? We might have to both take a pay cut for the sake of, the fight, for the card, whatever, because I don't know, man. I don't even think Al's connected with Fox anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like his budget probably got cut. They're trying to make things work. Eddie already said, hey, if TC comes over here, he's going to have to take a pay cut because, that fight isn't profitable for us. And Bob already complained about losing bread on this kid. So like the numbers gotta just add up, like what my man Cam said, computers computing. If the computer ain't computing, bro, you got come on, man. Like, we understand you deserve what you deserve. Everyone understands that. But is it worth not having arguably like the best welterweight fight in maybe the last decade? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, hold on. Actually, was Pacquiao and Floyd this decade? Can't remember. Maybe it was. Who knows? But second to Floyd Pacquiao. You know, and remember, even that one was like years in the making. You know, so I still think it's gonna happen. I think, you know, Al is just trying to find, you know, money for the fight. If TC's like, hey, you know what? I'm waiting on y'all. Y'all taking too long. I got to do what I got to do. That's cool with me as long as you win. We don't need no mishaps like when AJ came to the States and fought Ruiz. You know, anything can happen out here in these streets. So, TC, I'm hoping you win your December 10th match because we want to see, obviously, you know, y'all two duke it out for undisputed.
Look, man.
Boots.
For starters, I don't blame Floyd. I feel like I hear people saying like Floyd's the reason for these things, but it's not. Like if you look at Floyd Mayweather, early in his career, he took risks and challenges. He fought Diego Corrales, beat him easy. He was calling out Shane Mosley. He was calling out De La Hoya. Go pull up these videos. They didn't want to fight him. They didn't want to fight him. When Shane Mosley fought Floyd, he got in the ring, remember, and interrupted Floyd in an interview. And Floyd was like, hold on a second. Like, I'm speaking right now. And Floyd said, like, when I wanted to fight you all, y'all didn't want to fight me. Now y'all want to fight me. De La Hoya wanted to fight Floyd when Floyd was number one pound for pound and recognized as the best. And De La Hoya wanted to be recognized as the best. That's when he fought Floyd. And Floyd conceded and gave De La Hoya every advantage. And this is the fight that people don't talk about when they talk about Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather became the money man, beating Oscar De La Hoya and giving up everything. That's not like TC and Spence. Neither one of these guys want to give up anything. They want everything. Floyd recognized that if he beat Oscar De La Hoya, he was going to become a superstar. That's when 24/7 started. It became the biggest fight, and he became a superstar after that. After that, Floyd got to pick his fights. And even still, Floyd didn't just pick easy fights like people want to make it seem. In between there, he beat Juan Manuel Marquez, Miguel Cotto. He fought Manny Pacquiao. He fought Shane Mosley. He fought
26 world champions.
He fought all those guys. So, like, he fought Canelo. When Canelo was undefeated, up and coming, people say, oh, Canelo was too young. A fighter can never win, and this is why I hate this excuse. You beat someone, they're too old. You beat someone too early, they're too young. So how do you win? And I only notice they do it to discredit fighters they don't like. Joe Calzaghe beat Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins when they were old. No one calls that out, though. He just gets credit as he beat Roy and he beat Bernard. He beat old men. That's what he beat.
Jeff Lacey was too young. Jeff Lacey was only 22 years old.
Young when he fought him. Like, they only do that to certain fighters to discredit their resume, and that's what annoys me. Then you got Teddy. AJ beat all these guys when they were old or whatever, right? Oh, he beat Dillian White, but Dillian wasn't ready yet. Although Dillian was an amateur before him, Dillian beat him in the amateurs. It's like when you want to pick people's resume apart, like that's what you do. When all is said and done, Floyd became Floyd by taking concessions. That's where we defer. Floyd conceded everything to Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar picked everything: ring size, glove size, venue, everything. Because all Floyd said was, when I get you in that ring, I'm going to beat your A. That's when he became the money man. That's what everyone's missing. Everyone says Floyd ruined the game. No, Floyd earned his right to be a shot caller, the same way Canelo has earned his right to be a shot caller. Now, here we got TC and Errol Spence. TC became undisputed in a weak division. Now, people can say whatever they want, get mad at me. Salute to Buddy on Instagram who say he love our show, but he gonna get us for talking about TC. Oh man, salute to you. But let's be real. TC unified and became undisputed in a weak division, 140. 140 so weak that shortly after he did it, Josh Taylor did it. Still 147. We haven't had an undisputed champion since Zab Judah. So that's what I'm talking about. It's one thing to be like, oh, he was undisputed, but like I said, half of y'all can't name the people he beat, and most of the people he beat to become undisputed are retired now. So think about that. How good were they really? Most of the people he beat to become undisputed are retired now. Y'all the same ones though who will look at Errol Spence competition and try to downplay it. Oh, Danny's not that good. Sean Porter isn't, he's not that good or whatever. Y'all sit there and y'all want to downplay Danny's resume. Danny just beat up Ugas. Y'all want to sit there and downplay that.
Oh, you said Danny, you meant Earl.
Yeah, Errol just beat Ugas and y'all downplay that. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here saying that neither one of them beat world beaters. I'm sitting here saying that I think TC's competition at junior welterweight was weak. I think he has a solid victory over Sean Porter, although Sean Porter was at the end of his career and Sean Porter retired after that fight. I think the legacy fight for both guys are each other. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford need to fight each other to become the superstar, to become the big deal. Because neither one of them really are that big of a deal. Errol Spence, yeah, he's doing his 250,000 pay-per-view buys. Terence Crawford, we're going to talk about his 3 pay-per-views. We done already told you, like 3 pay-per-views, like 100 in total, 150,000 pay-per-view buys. Now he's going to have another pay-per-view on what, Black Prime, that they're saying he's going to have a pay-per-view on Black Prime for $40. And good luck generating that money fighting this dude who nobody knows. I'm a boxing fan. I know this dude. He's a UK level guy. I know. That's how I know him. Like they were talking about him fighting Conor Benn at one point as a step up fight for these guys. Him and Conor Benn. Now he's about to fight Terence Crawford, and y'all are gonna act like when Terence smoked this guy, he just did a hell of a job. You know what I mean? Like he did when he beat Amir Khan and when he beat Kell Brook. Yo, I don't really care about these dudes fighting anyone else. They need to fight each other. And the longer they wait to fight each other, the more they let other people surpass them. At one point, Terence Crawford was a big deal. Errol Spence was a big deal. Now, I'd rather watch Devin, yo. I'd rather watch Devin. I'm waiting to see what Jamel Charlo's going to do. I'm looking at the heavyweight division, waiting to see Usyk and Fury. These guys had this fight lingering way before all those other fights, and now they're getting surpassed by everyone else. We're sitting here talking about the 140 division's about to be on fire soon because Devin about to leave and go to 140, and we're about to see probably another undisputed at 140. I'm telling you, 140 is the easiest division to become undisputed in. But you know what I mean? And at 147, we got these 2 guys locking up the division. Like, what is it going to take for them to fight? Someone has to give in. Like Floyd gave in to Oscar De La Hoya. There are reports out there that TC did it, but I don't know. I didn't see. I'm not in a negotiating room. I'm not sitting at the table. There's no. Oh, almost, or this person did that. They didn't get it done. They fell short. And it's bad for both of their careers. Because I'm not one of those people, like, although when I was holding Terence Crawford accountable, it became like, oh, you're just an Errol Spence guy. Then I showed y'all years ago, I said Errol Spence isn't it. Years ago, I said Errol Spence isn't the dude I thought he was. I said that years ago. So I'm not Errol Spence. I'm not Terence Crawford. I'm on the side of boxing. And both of them are getting on my nerves. Instead of talking on Twitter, talk in person. Instead of pointing fingers, man, come together, make this fight happen. Gee, you're not gonna like this. I'm tired of the ish. We need a porta party.
No Dubai. Hashtag no Dubai.
We need a porta party for the ish. And it may just be time to take this fight to Dubai. It may be time to take this fight to the Middle East.
Why not, man? Hey, they'll pay.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
we know they'll pay.
Yeah. Exactly. They'll pay, and you can feast and unleash. You know what I'm saying? Feast and unleash. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's what we need. We may need to take this fight to Dubai. Now, remember, I said take this fight to Dubai. I didn't say take this flight to Dubai. Or some of you Instagram models out there. But anyways, I'm really just fed up with this, though. It's really getting to the point where it's like they're just feeding their bases. Errol knows that he says he tried to make the fight, and there's a group of Errol Spence fans who's going to blame TC. TC knows that he said he tried to make the fight, it doesn't happen, and there's a group of TC fans that's going to automatically run inside with TC. Meanwhile, they give us these garbage fights like this. And who's going to pay $40 on this? I'm going to tell you like this, and then I'm done. I love boxing. I support boxing. I buy a whole lot of pay-per-view. You know, I know we all do. We spend so much money on pay-per-view.
Y'all can see my cable bill, man.
I know 100. Guess what? I'm not watching this fight. I'm not paying for this fight. I'm not even saying, gee, you go have, we go have. No, I'm not even supporting this garbage. I will find out via Twitter who won this fight because this is junk. Like Larry Merchant said, HBO brought you junk. HBO's not around anymore, and we still getting junk. So what's that telling you?
They're gonna be like, "Whoa, David beat old Sugar Shane Mosley." That's how they're gonna promote this.
Here's what they're gonna do. They're gonna see David on the scales the day before the weigh-in, like he looks like he's in the best shape he's ever been in. Look at
Straight lying.
I don't know, man. Y'all let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.